Hello, how is everyone? My name is Otto and welcome to the channel. A few months ago, I reviewed the Hohem iSteady-X, and this gimbal was the right balance between price, weight, size, and maximum payload. Now Hohem released their new version. It is this one over here. Say hello to the new iSteady V2. They look almost the same, but the new iSteady V2 has a few upgrades, but the most important one is this thing that's on the clamp that looks like a camera. And you're going to like this, but before I keep going, let me show you really quick what comes inside the box. I like the new presentation of the box. Here we have a quick start guide. Inside this box we get the manual, and down here we get a carrying pouch and also a grist strap. Here on the right side we get a small tripod and a USB-C cable. When the gimbal is folded, it is very compact. This only weighs 263 grams and the tripod weighs 30 grams. To unfold the gimbal, you have to unlock it here, and that's it. Having such a compact design, this gimbal doesn't compromise its maximum payload. It supports smartphones up to 280 grams. Compared to the iSteady-X, they are almost identical. It is the same tripod. The zoom slider, the joystick, and the buttons are all in the same place, and they all feel as good as before. The right button is the power button, and you can also use it to switch to horizontal or vertical mode or recenter the camera. The left button is the shutter button, and it will also let you switch from video mode to photo mode and switch from the rear to the front camera and vice versa. The iSteady V2 has a bit of texture on the back of the grip, but now let's talk about this. The problem with every single smartphone gimbal is that the tracking only works with the gimbal's app. Once you change to another app, the tracking will stop working. And in some cases, you can live stream with tracking on, but the apps where you can use it are limited, or you have to pay to do so. Hohem came up with this bright idea. They added this sensor at the top of the clamp, and this sensor will track you no matter which app you're using on your smartphone. Your phone doesn't even have to be on for that matter. They call this the AI sensor, but I think I'm gonna call it Evolution. And no, this video is not sponsored and Hohem did not pay me to say anything nice, but they sent me the gimbal before launch for me to test it out. So why am I so excited about the AI sensor? Well, the more I was using it, the more I realized how much I was able to do with this. To put it into perspective, you don't need to go inside the Hohem app to use it. It has an independent button to turn the AI sensor on and off. When the sensor is ready, the light will flash twice, and now we can use a few gestures to interact with the gimbal. To activate the tracking, we need to do this. To stop tracking, show your hand like this. So the tracking now it's off. To change from landscape to portrait mode, you have to do this. And from this vertical mode to horizontal mode, you have to do this. So easy. Since the tracking is done by the sensor, we can now use any app that we want. You can live stream on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you can think of. You can also make video calls on FaceTime, WhatsApp, Skype, Discord, like just about anything. And I even found myself watching a cooking tutorial when I was walking around the kitchen. Okay, it was not a cooking tutorial. I was actually watching a TV show, but you get the point. The tracking is very good. This will keep tracking you even if you turn around. The portrait position can be customized inside the app, so you can compose the position of yourself. And if you don't care about live streaming, video calls, and so on, let's not forget that you can now use the native camera app or any camera app and use tracking at the same time. This is really useful for Android users who wanted to use the native camera app to shoot at any frame rate, who wouldn't be able to normally use the tracking function at the same time. Well, now we can do it. Around the sensor, they also placed an LED fill light with 3 levels of brightness. Let me show you how it looks like. Alright, let's see. This is level 1. level 2. And this is level 3. Not super bright, but it's going to be okay in case of very low light situations. The AI sensor is the main and biggest change from the iSteady-X, but Hohem also upgraded to a bigger 2800 mAh battery with 9 hours of battery life. But this will go down to about half the time if you keep using the AI sensor all the time. The battery now also acts as a power bank, and this means that besides using the USB-C port to charge the gimbal, you can now also charge your smartphone from the gimbal. The charging cable that comes in the box can be used for this if your smartphone has a USB-C port. On the cable, just remove this connector here, and now you have a USB-C connector on both ends. The iSteady V2 has 4 gimbal modes: pan and tilt, where the pan and tilt are going to be unlocked; pan follow, where only the pan will be unlocked; all lock, where all 3 axes are going to be locked, so no matter how you move the gimbal, the smartphone will be pointing at the same direction. And the last mode is POV, which is the opposite of the previous one, and everything gets unlocked: the roll, the tilt, and the panning. These gimbal modes can be changed on the apps menu, but I like to use the shortcuts that you can use with the buttons. And this is faster, especially if you're using the native camera app. To do it, all you need to do is hold the shutter button, and now you need to press the right button once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times, depending on which mode you want. So for example, if I want to set it to all lock, I have to press the right button 3 times, and the green status light will keep blinking 3 times, indicating that I am on the corresponding mode. The iSteady V2 also supports Inception mode, where the phone will rotate like this. You can activate this on the menu, but there is also a new shortcut that you can use with the buttons. Just triple press the power button and the gimbal will start rotating automatically. This gimbal also supports underslung mode, allowing you to take low angle shots. And all you need to do is flip the gimbal upside down and the camera will automatically get on the right position. On the Hohem app, we're going to find all the camera modes available. We're going to have video mode, photo mode, time lapses, and slow motion. Special modes are on a section called Moment, and here we can find a few video templates to choose from. Here we can also select Inception mode, Dolly Zoom, and Panoramic Video. Inside the app, we can use the regular face and object tracking. This will not be using the new AI sensor, it's just regular tracking, but it is very good. If you want to track an object, you need to use this one since the AI sensor is not going to track objects. You also get gesture controls, and on the menus, there are many settings to customize. My favorite setting is to be able to control the follow speed of the gimbal. The maximum video resolution on the iPhone is going to be 4K at 60 frames per second. And you can also shoot at 24 and 30 frames per second. With Android, you're going to be limited to 4K at 30 frames per second, so no 24 or 60 frames per second. And the last thing that I want to mention is that you can use your ultra wide angle lens on your iPhone and on your Android device, but for some reason it is easier to select this option on the Android than on the iPhone. This is a great gimbal to have. The new AI sensor is quite impressive and no other company has done something like this. And I know that there are a lot of people that wanted to use their own camera app and use tracking at the same time. And now we have it. The only downside is that the sensor doesn't flip around, which makes me believe that this was made especially with vloggers in mind. But I found a way to turn this around, but that's going to be a story for another video. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. My name is Otto. Until the next one. Bye.